Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, this is a video that a lot of you have been requesting, either from watching my streams or just my gameplay in the background. So many people have been saying, oh my god, Enders, what is that gun? Give us the SR-3M build. Here it is, guys. Okay, here's the SR-3M build. This is quite possibly one of the best aggressive rushing style SMGs in the entire game, but it isn't, solely for that purpose. You can build it to be fairly versatile. So we're going to be going over all the thought process of how to build it, and I'm going to give you 2 or maybe even 3 different builds so that you guys can mess around with. So if you enjoy Delta Force weapon guides, I've been putting out a ton of them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I already put out a guide of how to build no recoil weapons in Delta Force that explains the full thought process, and I put out another video not too long ago going over every single decent build for assault rifles in the game. Okay, so I'm the place for Delta Force weapon guides, and without further ado, let's get right into this weapon. So the SR-3M is one of those weapons that really defines don't judge a book by its cover, because taking a look at it here in its natural state, right, its naked form, it's kind of pathetic, right? You look at it and you're like, why? Like, why would I ever use this? It just doesn't seem very good. But then you take a look at this. Right, and you realize, hold on, this is the hip fire? I can do this? Like, what are you serious? Like, I almost killed that guy. This guy's 50 meters away. It did kill him. It did, like, it's nuts. So, let's go over the build. I will cover the weapon codes and all that stuff at the end of the video. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to explain the thought process of this build. As you can see, the weapon does 27 damage out to, I believe, let me check here. Yeah, like 15 meters or something. It's very good, which means it's a 4 bullet to kill out to, 16 meters at 747 RPM. Basically what that means is people are falling over real quick, right? He's just dead. It gets a 45 round magazine, insane hip fire, and decent handling. So you can build this a number of ways. I'll provide the other separate ways in the description, but you're gonna want to go with the only barrel possible here, and you're gonna want to calibrate that barrel for muzzle velocity and firing stability. Arguably, you could do ADS speed and ADS movement speed, but I do find that the muzzle velocity is pretty needed wherever you can get it on this weapon, just to increase its versatility, and the firing stability is also much needed, especially in ADS scenarios, because it can get pretty wily. But as you can see here, it's not too bad. The first thing you should do when upgrading any weapon is go in here and take a look at the recoil pattern right here. You'll find that in loadout, details, and then control. As you can see, the default recoil pattern here is pretty nasty, but I managed to, get those nasty bends out of it and make it fairly straightforward for you guys. But it's not like you're going to need to worry about that anyway, because, you can just do that, which is hilarious. And the way I sort of went about building this weapon is I said, okay, well, it's obviously really CQC. So I'm going to put the Bastion horizontal compensator on, and this is what gets rid of those nasty horizontal bends on the recoil. Whenever you see a weapon with, a nasty pattern such as this with bends, you're going to want to consider at least using this. And there's also a grip, which I don't believe this weapon has. Yeah, it doesn't have it. But there's a grip that does the same thing as this muzzle, but it does have a penalty to vertical recoil. So that's why I chose this over the grip. Now, moving on. Obviously, you want to try to play to this weapon's strengths. So I made sure to keep the accuracy up while keeping the handling and the control up. The stability is not an absolutely essential part of this weapon's build, but it still helps to not completely screw it. So with that in mind, I sort of just went through everything, and I said, okay, well, I want to quell that horizontal recoil even more, and the vertical recoil, and if possible, I want to get accuracy. And this is exactly what the X25U angled combat grip does. With a penalty to handling and stability. You're going to want to calibrate this grip to stability when moving, because it really just keeps your sight really planted in the center. It can help you keep yourself on target. I find that to be very important when playing the game. And obviously for the magazine, you're going to be up in people's faces. You're not going to have much time for reloads with this build. This is not a long-range weapon, guys. You can get away with mid-range, but generally speaking, you're going to want to stay within close to mid-range. So with that being said, I wanted to make the 45-round magazine work, and I did manage to do that. So equip the 45-round mag. Then for the grip, I went with the AK Heavy Tower Grip. Upon initial inspection, it doesn't look too appealing, but you'll notice that when you take a look at what happens with the accuracy, this 1 accuracy actually counts for 4 accuracy points. Then you get, I think 2 handling, 2 stability, and I think 2 control. So don't go off of this, more so go off of what's happening here. So I equipped that, and then I calibrated it for stability while moving and more control. Again, arguably you could go for hipfire aim speed here in place of stability while moving, but I did get the handling pretty nice, so you can go with the stability while moving just to help you, stay on target here. Now, what this AK Heavy Tower Grip does is it opens up the grip mount slot. And again, you can either go with the stability grip base, which isn't that important. It sort of screws over handling, which is super important for this build. It does allow you to equip another part of this grip that gives you accuracy. So you're getting 8 accuracy just off of the grip alone, which significantly tightens your hip fire. And for those of you that don't know, accuracy has nothing to do with the aim down sight's accuracy of your weapon. It has everything to do with the hip fire accuracy. And as you can see here, it's pretty tight, guys. No pun intended, okay? No pun intended, guys. The last part of this build, actually the second to last part, is the stock. With all this taken into account, I was just sort of like, okay, well, this gun needs some control and stability. I can deal with a little less handling, so I went with the UR Spec Ops Tactical Stock, and I calibrated that again for firing stability and extra control. You could optionally go for ADS speed instead of firing stability, but again, this gun's pretty wily. I do like the firing stability on it. Sights are always personal preference, ladies and gentlemen. And now for handling, I need to explain why these patches are all handling. So there is a version of this build that you can get 100 accuracy, literally 100% accuracy on your hip fire. I decided that wasn't worth it because without stacking handling, your sprint to fire, which is how fast you can get your weapon up from sprinting, which I'll demonstrate now. Your sprint to fire is significantly worse if you stack, Jesus Christ, I'm messing around with the menus. If you stack accuracy here. So I decided the accuracy is good enough, right? Keep in mind, that guy's 50 meters away. You can kill people out to, like, I'd say, let's try like 30 meters, 29 maybe. Yeah, that guy's like 30 meters away. You can spray him down. So I said the accuracy is good enough. Stack handling here because it gets your ADS speed down, your sprint to fire delays faster. Because again, you're going to be in CQC. You're going to need your weapon to come up really fast. And that is what handling helps you do. So the other versions of this build, if you want to make this gun even more versatile, you can, have this build here. And both of these will be in the description, and I'll show you guys how to use the loadout codes at the end of the video. You can use this build optionally, and it takes the Bastion compensator off and gives you a suppressor. Reason being is not really for the stealth, because, Luna arrow's in the game, and you're wall-hacked through the map, so it's not like stealth matters yet, which is unfortunate. More for the muzzle velocity, right? It takes the muzzle velocity from, I believe, let's see, 381 all the way up to 435. That doesn't sound like much, but it is a lot. It really is. It will help you hit shots at range if you find you are struggling. So if you want to use either of these builds, again, they'll be in the description. And what you do for these loadout codes in the description is you go to your weapon, you hit modify, you go to loadout, you go to import, and you go to import loadout code, paste it here, hit the magnifying glass, and then a loadout will pop up here. And let me just do it for you guys. A loadout will pop up here, and you can hit apply loadout. And if your weapon is high enough leveled with all the attachments unlocked, you should have no problem using the code. So that is the SR-3M. I'm not saying this is like the greatest build of all time. Maybe you guys will improve upon it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the build. If you did, be sure to hit the subscribe button, guys. I put out a ton of videos like this. Hit the like button. And of course, come by the Twitch streams. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.